do. Hello.
Can't put that on YouTube.
Alright, so I just want to make a quick video to cover a couple of things before we move on to the next videos, because the workflows that I'm going to be using are just going to be slightly different than the workflow you saw in the comfy installation video and in the Flux installation video. There's only like one or two changes, but I am going to be using the Flux NF4 model as I record those videos because it is pretty much impossible to run the dev model and OBS at the same time. Also, there is another clip model I'm going to be using because it gives really good results with text and images. And I also want to show you guys a comparison of the image output from the dev model and the NF4 so you can see exactly how similar they are. So let's go ahead and jump into our comfy. That's a little preview of what's to come. We'll come back to that. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this as well. So if you'll notice in your comfy installation, whenever you come down here to change your workflow, you're not going to have folders like this. And as far as I know, there's no way to add a folder here from within the UI. So what you'll want to do is go into your file explorer and go into comfy and then into user and then into default. And this is where your workflows live. So if you go into workflows, you can see I have this Flux folder that has a few of my Flux workflows. And if you want to get the folders in your comfy UI, all you have to do is put another folder here. So for example, if I put another folder called like stable diffusion, and then if I copy a workflow into it really quickly, you just have to have at least one workflow in there, and then you jump back over to comfy and you open this up, then you'll see that folder there. And I like doing that because whenever I was adding a bunch of different workflows in here, it's a really long list and it gets messy. So I like having these folders in here so I can just collapse them whenever I'm not using them. And then that way you don't end up with this huge long list of workflows every time you pop this open. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is going to be this checkpoint loader or this model loader node here. If you remember from the Flux video, we have this load diffusion model node, and that's what loads our Flux model. And then in the basic stable diffusion workflow, you have this load checkpoint node here, and that is what you load your stable diffusion model with. However, neither of these nodes actually work for loading the Flux NF4 model. So in order to load your NF4 model, you will need this checkpoint loader NF4, and all you have to do to get this is just install it through your manager. So if you come down here to the manager and then go to custom nodes manager, you just come to the search bar and type in bits, and you'll see comfy UI bits and bytes NF4 experimental, and then you'll just install it right there. Now probably whenever you click the install button, you're going to get an error down here that says that your security level is not going to allow you to install it because it's experimental. And to fix that, you just have to change the security setting on your comfy configuration file. If you go into your file explorer and you go into comfy, let me just remember. Oh, I remember. You remember? Yeah, I remember. Custom nodes, yes. So if you go into your comfy, you go into the comfy UI folder, into custom nodes, and into the comfy UI manager, and then you will see a file in here called config.ini. And if you just open that up in any text editor, your security level will probably say normal, and you just change that to weak.
So weak.
And then save the file and close it, and then go back and restart comfy. Then you'll be able to install this in your node manager. And of course, as with a lot of custom nodes, once you install this, you will have to restart comfy. And as I mentioned, the other thing that will be a little bit different is that I'm going to be using a different clip model. If you want to generate images that have text in them, for this clip 2, I'm going to be using this VIT-14 text detail improve blah blah blah. And so that's what you're going to see in the clip loader. And so to get that, all you have to do is go over to this 0int Hugging Face page and then scroll down here towards the bottom where you see this one that says TE only. So that's the text encoder only. And then you'll just right click and save link as. And of course, that's going to go into your comfy models clip. So you can see I have it there already, but you would just save it right there. And of course, I will leave a link to that in the description. And one more thing, on the output here, you're going to see an additional node between the sampler and the decoder. That is going to be the Latent Multiply. And all this node is going to do is just kind of give you a little bump in the colors. It'll just make your output images a little more vibrant. And of course, you can play around with this value to see what works best for you, but this is what I typically have mine set at. But everything else is going to be the same as what you saw in my Flux video. So let's go ahead and check out some comparisons between Flux Dev and Flux NF4. I'll just go with kind of a simple prompt here. We have cyberpunk girl riding a black motorcycle. Let's say 512 by 512. And yeah, that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and try this with the Flux Dev model. What I'm going to do here is copy this workflow, paste everything right here. I can just change this first node right here. If we delete that, then we can put our NF4 node right there. The only thing you're actually going to use on this node is this model right here, and that's just going to go right into your model sampling Flux node. You're just going to replace that right here with the NF4 loader. Since I copied this workflow from up here, everything is the same. So now we can just run them, and the only difference is that this is the Flux Dev and then this is the Flux NF4, and then we'll get our two output images over here and compare the two. So let's start with our basic little prompt here, cyberpunk girl riding a motorcycle, and I'll just go ahead and run them one at a time. If I go ahead and hold the control button and highlight this whole group of nodes and hit Control B, which stands for bypass, and then that will basically deactivate all of these nodes, and then whenever I click the Q button, it will just run this workflow and not this one. And so this is the output of the NF4 model. Looks pretty good in my opinion. And then we'll just run the exact same prompt with the exact same settings on the dev model and see what we get. So we'll just go ahead and bypass these and unbypass these. So again, we have the dev model on the right here and the NF4 on the left, and you can see they are nearly identical. It does look like the dev has given us a little additional detail. It looks like the hair is a little more detailed here. Of course, this is a 512 by 512 picture, so it's not super high quality regardless, but there is a little finer detail. It looks like the hair here is there's a little more clarity. Same in the headlight. It's very, very subtle, but from my perspective, it looks like this is a little more vibrant and a little more clear, but it is very, very hard to tell. Same thing down here on the pipes. This looks a little darker, whereas this looks a little more clear. You can actually see the individual pipes. There's not as much shadow going on down here. So there are some very, very subtle differences, but again, it is nearly identical. And of course, with the dev model, it maxes out my 4090, so that's 24 gigs of VRAM usage, whereas with the NF4 model, it's only around 10 gigs of VRAM usage. So the NF4 model definitely works great, and if you have a lower VRAM card, that is definitely the way to go, especially compared to the Schnell, which would give you some cartoonish version of this. It wouldn't be very realistic at all. And while we're here, let's do one example of the clip model and see what we get in terms of text. So first of all, let's go ahead and try this with just the regular clip L, and let's say behind her is a massive neon sign that reads low state. All right, so we have the same cyberpunk girl riding a black motorcycle, and then behind her is a massive sign that reads flow state. So let's see what we get with that. Very cool. I like it. So pretty similar. It looks like pretty much the same motorcycle and everything, just a big sign behind her. So the clip L model does do fine with the text, but let's see what we get in comparison. And I'm just going to open this in a new tab so we can save it. And then all we're going to do is we're going to change this to our VIT-14 and run that again. Very nice. All right, so let's put these side by side and compare them. In this case, they do happen to look very similar. This is the one with the VIT-14, so it is a little clearer. This one looks a little fuzzier, but in both cases, they did get the text correct. All of the spelling and capitalization is correct, and the font looks normal. There's no weird stuff going on here. Maybe we'll try one that's a little more complicated. Let's start with our clip L, and then we will give it something that's a little more complicated. We'll say welcome to the flow state, and then we'll say parentheses the best state, and then we'll put a period in there as well. So we got welcome to the flow state, and then over here we have the best state in parentheses with a period, and we'll see what the clip L does with that. Okay, so this is kind of what we would probably expect. Of course, we see some errors here. For one thing, the L is capitalized, which it is not in our prompt. The L is not capitalized, so it got that wrong. And then also these T's are obviously messed up. Also, now that I'm noticing it, the A and the E, these are also capitalized. So it capitalized the L and the A and the E, and then with the T's, it couldn't really decide whether it wanted to capitalize them or not. So it's kind of like a capital and lowercase version combined here. As far as the spelling, everything looks right. Welcome to, oh, and it doesn't have the word the, it should say welcome to the flow state, right? In our prompt, welcome to the flow state. Yeah, so we have a few errors here, which is to be expected with a more complicated text prompt like that. So let's go ahead and save this in a new tab, and then let's run this exact same prompt with the VIT-14. Wow, I honestly expected this one to make a few mistakes as well, but this looks really great. Welcome to the flow state, the best state. So it doesn't have the parentheses like we have in the text prompt, but everything else is dead on. So I would say that's a pretty significant improvement if we put these side by side again. Yeah, that is significantly better. That is with the clip L, and then this is with the VIT-14. So let me just check the spelling again. Welcome to the flow state, the best state. Yeah, so you can see in more complicated text prompts like that, it is a pretty significant improvement. So I definitely recommend using that clip model if you are going to be generating images with text in them. Very nice. I like it. All right, so that's all I wanted to cover. Of course, the checkpoint loader, so you can load your NF4 model if you are going to be using the NF4. The clip model, which you will want if you're going to be generating images that have text in them, and then that latent multiply node, which is just going to give your colors a little bit of a pop. So I've actually already recorded the LLM and the stable video diffusion video, and now I just got to edit them and get them published. But I noticed in those workflows that I had those slight differences, and so I wanted to make this video really quickly before I put those out. That way, whenever you see them, there won't be any surprises. I want to see what you guys come up with, especially in your images with text. I would be very curious to see what you guys come up with on that. If you want to leave Google Drive links or something like that, you can put that stuff in the comments, or if you want, you can also tag me on X. It's the same username on all the platforms, but again, you can find that stuff in the description. And there's actually an email in the description as well, so if you want to just email me things, you can do that too. Also, let me know what platforms you guys use. I would like to start some kind of a group where we can share and compare the images and videos that we're generating. I don't like Facebook, and I don't like Discord. I hate Discord. Let me know your thoughts, put your suggestions down in the comments, and then hopefully we'll come to some kind of group consensus on what's going to be the best option for that. Anyways, like the video, make sure you subscribe, and share this with anyone you know who might find this useful. As always, you can find my workflows for free over on Patreon, and I'm going to go ahead and get the editing done on the LLM video and on the stable video diffusion video, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.